The confrontation between the Vikings and the Islamic world, often overlooked in popular historical narratives, reveals a fascinating course of interactions that shaped the medieval world. These encounters illustrate the far-reaching influence of both Viking and Islamic civilizations and their interconnectedness despite vast geographical distances. Here in this episode, we explore the various dimensions of Viking-Islamic interactions, focusing on trade, cultural exchanges, conflict, and the broader implications of these contacts. The Viking Age, roughly spanning from the late 8th century to the mid-11th century, was a period marked by the extensive maritime activities of Scandinavian seafarers. Known for their raids and conquests, the Vikings also engaged in significant trade and exploration, reaching as far as North America to the west and the Islamic Caliphates to the southeast. Their longships enabled them to navigate not only the open seas, but also rivers and inland waterways, facilitating their far-reaching expeditions. During the same period, the Islamic world was experiencing its golden age, characterized by remarkable advancements in science, culture, and trade. The Abbasid Caliphate, with its capital in Baghdad, was a major center of learning and commerce. The Islamic world extended from the Iberian Peninsula in the west to the Indian subcontinent in the east, encompassing a diverse range of cultures and economies. The Silk Road and other trade routes facilitated extensive commercial exchanges, connecting the Islamic world with Europe, Africa, and Asia. One of the primary avenues of interaction between the Vikings and the Islamic world was the Volga trade route. Viking traders, known as the Rus, navigated the rivers of Eastern Europe, including the Volga, Dnieper, and Don, to reach the Caspian Sea and beyond. They established trading posts and settlements along these rivers, acting as intermediaries in the trade between Northern Europe and the Islamic world. The trade between the Vikings and the Islamic world was diverse and mutually beneficial. The Vikings traded a variety of goods, including furs, slaves, honey, wax, and timber, which were highly valued in the Islamic markets. In return, they acquired silver, textiles, spices, and other luxury items from the Islamic merchants. The influx of Islamic silver coins, known as dirhams, into Scandinavia is a testament to the extensive trade networks. Many of these coins have been found in Viking hoards, indicating their widespread use and the economic impact of this trade. Dirhams played a crucial role in the Viking economy, particularly in facilitating trade and commerce. The silver coins not only served as a medium of exchange, but also symbolized the wealth and status of their owners. The abundance of dirhams found in Viking archaeological sites reflects the deep economic ties between the two regions and the importance of Islamic silver in the Viking economy. The trade between the Vikings and the Islamic world also led to significant cultural exchanges. Islamic art and craftsmanship influenced Viking material culture in various ways. The intricate designs and techniques of Islamic metalwork, textiles, and ceramics were adopted and adapted by Viking artisans. This cross-cultural influence is evident in the decorative motifs and styles found in Viking artifacts, such as jewelry, weapons, and everyday objects. While direct intellectual exchanges between Viking and Islamic scholars were limited, the movement of goods and people facilitated the spread of ideas and knowledge. The Vikings encountered various cultures and traditions during their travels, and some of these influences filtered back to Scandinavia. Similarly, Islamic scholars and travelers occasionally documented their encounters with the Vikings, providing valuable insights into their way of life. There is evidence of linguistic and scriptural influences between the two cultures. Some Viking runic inscriptions show signs of influence from Arabic script, indicating a level of interaction and familiarity with Islamic writing systems. This exchange of writing practices reflects the broader cultural interactions and the blending of different traditions. While trade and cultural exchange were predominant, the interactions between the Vikings and the Islamic world were not always peaceful. Viking raids on Islamic territories, particularly in the Iberian Peninsula and North Africa, occurred sporadically. These raids were often driven by the desire for wealth and resources, as well as the Vikings' reputation as formidable warriors. However, these conflicts were relatively limited compared to the extensive trade relations. Diplomatic relations between the Vikings and the Islamic world were established on various occasions. The Vikings, known as the Rus in Islamic sources, often sought alliances and trade agreements with Islamic rulers. One notable example is the visit of a Viking delegation to the court of the Abbasid Caliph al-Muqtadir in Baghdad in 922 CE, documented by the Arab traveler Ibn Fadlan. This encounter highlights the Vikings' efforts to establish formal diplomatic and trade connections with the Islamic world. The economic interactions between the Vikings and the Islamic world had lasting impacts on both regions. The influx of Islamic silver into Scandinavia stimulated economic growth and trade within the Viking territories. The wealth accumulated through trade with the Islamic world contributed to the development of Viking societies and the establishment of powerful trade centers such as Birka and Hedeby. The cultural exchanges between the Vikings and the Islamic world left a lasting legacy in both regions. The blending of artistic styles, techniques, and materials enriched the material culture of the Vikings and influenced their artistic traditions. The exchange of ideas and knowledge, though less documented, likely contributed to the intellectual and cultural development of both civilizations. The interactions between the Vikings and the Islamic world are a testament to the interconnectedness of medieval civilizations. These contacts demonstrate that even seemingly distant and distinct cultures were linked through trade, exploration, and cultural exchange. The legacy of Viking-Islamic interactions serves as a reminder of the diverse and dynamic nature of early medieval history. The interactions between the Vikings and the Islamic world during the early medieval period were multifaceted and profound. Through trade, cultural exchanges, and occasional conflicts, these two distinct civilizations influenced each other in significant ways. The economic impact of their trade relations, the cross-cultural influences in art and craftsmanship, and the diplomatic efforts to establish formal relations all highlight the complexity and richness of Viking-Islamic interactions. These historical connections underscore the broader theme of interconnectedness in human history, revealing how distant cultures can shape and enrich each other's development through mutual exchange and engagement. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe to our channel, Sociopedia.